Welcome to the notes and solutions for day 53 of our GCSE 5 a day. We start with a rounding question. I think it's always helpful to have a look at our number line, and we're going to the nearest hundred. So this is me counting in hundreds here: 800, 900, 1000. Let's have a look at where our 833 is. Well, it's somewhere like that, isn't it? And, we can see straight away that the nearest hundred is 800. Well, when does it stop being 800? Well, it stops being 800 at this midpoint here, 850. And if we go back the other way, it stops being nearest 800 at 750. So we can sort of see why our rounding works as it does. Let's look at how we do the mechanics of that. Well, I've written this so there's plenty of space here. This is the column we're rounding in, the hundreds column. And once we've found where we're doing the rounding, the key thing is that we look at our next column along and we say, is this 5 or more? Well, no, it isn't. So in this instance, nothing changes. Our 8 stays as it is, and it's in the hundreds column. So that is 800. And the nugget for you to go and practice there is 2.13. Question 2 is also a rounding question, and we're rounding to significant figures. We're asked to round to one significant figure here, and our significant figures are digits which are more than 0, counting from the left. So here's our first significant figure. This is where we round to. So we've actually got the same exercise as we've just done in the first question. We look at our next place along. Is this 5 or more? No, it isn't. So we're left with our 8. Everything afterwards is a 0 because it's in the hundreds column. And there's our answer, 800. And the nugget for you to go and practice there is 9.05. And our next two questions involve the simplification of powers of numbers. In this instance, we're doing some division. W to the power 8 divided W to the power 2. And hopefully by now you've remembered that when we are dividing, we are going to subtract these indices. 8 minus 2 is 6. So our answer is W to the power 6. We were asked just for the power, so our answer there is 6. If you're not sure why this is, we can always write this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you think about how you simplify fractions, we would be dividing top and bottom by common factors, and we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 W's. So there you have it, how we do it and why it works, and the nugget to go and practice is 13.04. In this instance, we're doing a multiplication, and whereas with division we subtracted these indices, in this instance we're going to add them. 3 plus 5 is 8. So answer is 8. Why does this work? Because to the power 3, W times W times W, then we're multiplying. W to the power 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 W's multiplied together. Nugget to go and practice, 13.03. There's quite a bit going on in this question. The first thing to note is that we're asked for our integer solution. So these are whole numbers like 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, and so on. When we do these exercises, we remember that we have to make sure that everything is balanced, and we do the same thing to the left-hand side that we do to the right-hand side. In this instance, we've actually not got 2 sides, we've got 3 sides, and we've got to make sure that we do the same to each one of these. Now, whenever we have a term like this, the first thing that we're going to end up doing is to get rid of this dividing by 4 by multiplying everything by 4. So my left-hand side here, 1 times 4 is 4. is less than. And there's my numerator term because I've got rid of this denominator. Now I've got to multiply 3.5 by 4. Well, multiplying by 4 is doubling twice. 3.5 doubled is 7. Doubled again is 14. I want my x on its own, so this take away 3 I'm going to get rid of by adding 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7, is less than 6x, is less than 14 plus 3 is 17. If I know what 6 of something is, then one of them is going to be divided by 6. So 7 over 6 is less than x, is less than 17 over 6. Now I've left these as fractions because just going back to this idea that we want an integer solution. So my 7 over 6, well, that's more than 1, isn't it? But less than 2. Now 17 over 6, now that's less than 3 because 3 would be 18 over 6, but it's more than 2. So our answer here is something that's more than 1 but less than 3. So my integer solution is x equals 2. Quite a bit going on there. Have a practice of that, and similar questions you can find at Nugget 25.11.